So many of us grow up thinking that competition is that ultimate arena for us to show off our skills, to test our mettle against other people. I'm going to tell you right now, in business, if you're trying to compete with other people, you're already losing. From the time I was a kid, I kept getting in trouble for how competitive I was. In fact, my parents put me in homeschool and then put me in private school. In homeschool, there was no competing with anyone else. It was literally just me. In high school, when I went to private school, the schools that I went to were conservative Christian academies, and they didn't really have inter-school competition. It was just intramurals. It was kind of like competition was a bad thing. And so this always rubbed me the wrong way. It always made me feel like I was missing out on something. I got to college and I still went to a private Christian education that was conservative, that barely believed in competition at all and barely allowed intramurals. But at some point, I started to think differently about competition. Competition is this thing that seems to drive so many of us, where we got to be the best. We want to be better than everybody else. And we keep comparing ourselves to everyone else. And this is what I've realized is the problem. As an entrepreneur, a digital entrepreneur with global businesses, and as an investor, one of the things that I did in the early days of my career was to try to compete with other people. If they're making 100 phone calls, I need to do 105 phone calls. If they're doing 100 different email sequences, I need to do better than that. Whatever the case may be, I was always looking at other people's results and using that as the barometer for what I could achieve. And here's what's interesting. I used to get more and more frustrated because when I compared myself to other people's results, and if it wasn't really happening for me fast enough, that was starting to sap my energy. That was starting to demotivate me because I started to see other people winning at a higher level than what I was experiencing. And by comparing myself to them, what was happening was I was actually holding myself back. See, here's the thing I want to tell you right now. You're watching this video, you're tuning into the Dream Then Find a Way YouTube channel, and you're consuming content online, or you're an entrepreneur, you're someone who's a thought leader, you're someone who has big goals for your life. And chances are you found yourself in the same situation that I was in as well, constantly comparing myself to other people. And this is why I say that competition is for losers. Because if you're always competing with other people, then guess what? They're doing the same thing with you. They're looking at you, and many times you don't realize that they are frustrated in their situation. Your competitor, he's dealing with the same stuff that you're dealing with, same challenges that you're dealing with. You may be in a business and looking at people in another business and think, oh, if I could just get into their business, I'd get the results that they're getting because they don't have to deal with the kind of stuff that I have to deal with. Friends, comparison is the thief of joy, and at the heart of competition is comparison, because we're always looking at what other people are doing. Here's where I want to challenge you, and to challenge you to be focused on creating. See, when you're competing, you're always trying to catch up with where someone else is. But when you're creating something at a level that's so much higher than other people might be thinking. They're trying to catch up with where you were because they can't see where it is that you're going. The ultimate competition is to create. Is to be the master of yourself, is to produce results at such a high level that you expect more from yourself than anyone might possibly expect of anybody else. When you raise your own standard beyond competition to where you're creating, you automatically put yourself in a completely different category, and you have to execute at a higher level. So you're an entrepreneur, you're a musician, you're a thought leader, you are an influencer, and so many times you might find yourself trying to keep up with where other people are. You're looking at what they have and what's working for them, and you're trying to do the same thing. But guess what? You're always going to find yourself getting to where they used to be, not where they're going. What you have to focus on instead is your highest level of potential, is your true calling, and really diving deep into that. And friends, when you do that, you have unlimited opportunities to absolutely dominate. Hopefully that brought some value to you. If it did, I want to make sure that I hear from you. So please leave me a comment below and let me know what you thought about the idea of creating versus competing, and how that's going to be something that you're going to implement in your career and in your life today. And if this video had added any kind of value to you and you just happen to land on it, consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out as we're looking to get that message out there. That true power and true excitement and true value comes from dreaming and then finding a way.